Welcome everyone. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. That way you can get notified whenever I come out with new content. As far as the stock market is concerned, you're going to get all the news you need from a 14-year trader. Also, go ahead and if you want to join a community of other traders, it's totally free. Hit the Discord link in the bio and go ahead and sign up for 100% free to be in a community, a growing community of traders, um, and helping you in your journey. And we bounce ideas off of each other, and we get this market. And then you'll be rubbing shoulders with a 14-year trader. That is me, and then maybe others there that have that experience to help you as well. Also, if you want to get better trading results, you've been trading for a while and you're just spinning your wheels, get the link in the book, my book in the bio. Get my book in the description. It's on Amazon. How to day trade with beginners in mind, but it's not just for beginners. It's for all classes of traders. All right. So if you want to get better there, all of that is down below, and I'll actually put a link to the Discord in the comment section for you to sign up. So there has been, as of the last trading day yesterday, we got a signal that flashed. We got a signal that flashed bearish, and I'm gonna show it to you right now, and I'm gonna explain why that could be significant in what is to come. So I found it quite interesting because you don't get this signal quite often. So anyway, let me get right to it. Okay. So the put call ratio. The put call ratio is a measure of how many puts are being bought in comparison to calls. And usually that is a very telling sign as far as some impending doom coming, something that someone knows, institutions, something that is causing the volume to spike in puts as compared to calls. So let me break it down to you real quickly to kind of help you understand what the put call ratio means. So basically, the way they measure it is like this: anything over a one is typically very bearish. That means that the ratio of puts has overcome the ratio of calls in the market. And this is the NASDAQ 100, but I'm going to show you also for all OCC options. This is for all options here. That all of that just peaked over one on the 28th. That was yesterday. Now, no other day did it do it, but just for some reason, it peaked over the 1.0 ratio mark, and that is very, very, very telling of something impending. So keep an eye on that. But let me show you on the definition here. All right. So the put call ratio is a market sentiment indicator that compares the volume of put options to call options. A ratio above one suggests a bearish sentiment. All right, I just wanted to kind of give you that, and if you want, you can search that and read it yourself. Okay, so that's why this is very important. We just hit over one, and it's been a while since we've done that. In fact, the last time we really got over one was back Liberation Day earlier this year, and that was a big day. That was when Trump imposed all of those tariffs on all the different countries. So that's the last time we got this. So this is very big, y'all. This is very big, and I just wanted to point this out to you that this could mean to hold tight to your positions. It could mean it's not 100%. Nothing in the market is 100%, but it's a cause for concern. So now, what I want to do, I'm going to show you the significance of this, right? So I highlighted some of the bigger significant moments of it, right? So let me start here. Back in in 2006, early 2006, the cause of this spike in the put call ratio was the Zika outbreak. The Zika outbreak happened in January 25th, around that January 20th of 2016, right? Another huge spike here. This was around August 29th, 2016. Now this was the FBI released notes about the Clinton email investigation, the Hillary Clinton email, that whole scandal going on there. When they thought that it was a lot going on with that, that's when this spiked up again in around August 2016, right? The next real big spike, the significant spike, which was like 1.32, around a 1.3, was with the. It was also the time around the presidential elections with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. So that was that spike, right? All right, so come over here around January 2017, right? You had a big spike. That's where Trump signed the travel ban on January 27, 2017. Executive Order 13769. That was restricting travel from 7 predominantly Muslim countries. And you see the big spike here, right? Okay, and then the next big spike, this came a little later in 2017, right? This was when North Korea launched their missile that was capable of reaching the United States. So that sparked this high put call ratio, right? Okay, and then you got another one here. This was when North Korea and the United States kind of got into it, where North Korea issued warnings against the United States, which led to a heated exchange when Trump said North Korea they would face fire and fury if they sunk one of those missiles. So that sparked everything again here, right? All right, and let's just move a little forward. I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm trying to let you know something here. All right, and then here we all know what this was back in 2020, around March 2020. That's when COVID hit. All right, and you see the big spike here. You see it, and this is compared. If you look at this, this is comparable to the other ones. So we know that was a big event. If you didn't know anything else, you knew about that one. This was the UK Russia war. They pretty much like the whole 2022. They were that tensions were escalating, and they had that big war going on, and so that was the whole 2022 pretty much, right? And that's pretty much looking at everything over this dollar. I'm sorry, this 1.0 mark. Then we already talked about earlier this year, Liberation Day, and now to put all that into perspective, you got this mark. This is the newest mark here. This is something to think about. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show you the chart of the SPY. And I actually marked up those areas. See, all those areas that we just talked about, right? I marked them all up so you can see how it affected the market. So that was the charts, right? And take a look here. I talked about the Zika outbreak. The market dumped heavily. The Clinton email investigation. When the this is all when the put call ratios went over 1. When the puts to calls went over 1, and almost each time you had a big dump, right? You got the Trump travel ban dump. You got a North Korea ordeal, couple little dumps in there, not nothing too majorly. And around here, this was in 2018. This was when rising yields, interest rates hiked. Trump U.S. China trade war first began with the tariff talks. As you see, the market dump. And then over here, this was Brexit. Over there in the UK, they had a big ordeal. and it shook the world. And then we have here, we know 2020 what happened here. We already know that market dumped majorly, heavy volume, heavy volume, but then it recovered nicely. Okay, and then remember this whole 2022 deal here, Ukraine, Russia, right? And here we are again. Here we are. And so what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing here, if you look at the weekly, a trend that I noticed in the past is usually when you get elevated sell pressure, but not only elevated, you get it combined with lower buying pressure. So now this was a short week, so this week is not the best indicator of the volume. Next week will be a better determiner. If we close green with low volume, with these other factors in play, with all of these elevated, the put call ratio is elevated. This is definitely something to keep an eye on. This is it hit all these hit over one. So I just want to point that out, and I had this marked up here to show this was just an interesting tidbit that I noticed that the volume, which you can see this in the news where they say the options volume increased after 2020. So I was showing you that. That's a little aside. But in 2020, if you look at the date there, this is options trading volume. All the options, calls and puts, the volume, and you can see over the years that's been increasing every year. So a lot more people are participating in the markets. Back then, it wasn't nobody. See, I was in it way back in. I'm 14 years in, so I was in it when it was super low volume. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out to you guys and girls. That's something to keep an eye on. It's a flashing symbol. It's definitely a flashing symbol that something is on the horizon. Something is definitely on the horizon, so you definitely want to. And also, we already know the fear and greed. That's an extreme fear as well. So we got a lot of things flashing bearish right now. Um, I want to point that out to you. I don't see anybody giving it to you from that perspective, from this perspective, as far as the call put ratio and everything. So I want to show that to you. All right, so just keep an eye on the markets. Watch the volume. Watch the participation levels. But definitely be a little cautious when you're doing swinging for bull plays right now. Be a little cautious about that. All right, that's all I got. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified. Again, if you want to join the trading community, get better at trading, hit the free Discord link in the bio. You can join totally free. And then also